Daily Ticket with you here on a Thursday. Good afternoon. We got a lot to discuss in the sports world. We've been hitting on a little bit of everything. You heard Sean Bernard on all things NBA, or excuse me, Sean Bernard's coming up a little bit later. Of course, you heard Julian Edlow a little earlier, representing from DraftKings Sportsbook, talking all things NBA. So let's get our update. We normally do it on Wednesdays. Unfortunately, could not do it yesterday with Larry Henry Jr. But let's get updated on all things NHL, the world of footy with English Premier League, a little MLS, and U.S. men's national team as well. A lot of hot button discussions being had right now with the men's team, and as I said, with the EPL, Manchester United, glory, glory. Larry, always great to get you on. How we doing today, man?
Doing well, Sean. Ugly day out there, so glad to be inside with you. Right, ugly. Like you said beforehand, it's football weather. Luckily, the Philadelphia Eagles don't have to deal with this tonight.
Well, and I buried the lead there. Congratulations, Larry. We talked about it last week. Now taking on a new role for the Athletic, which is major. Great job there. And your new role starts tonight in the NFL. Larry, break it down. What do you got going on tonight? Where can we catch your action at? And of course, we got ourselves a division battle between the Steelers and the Browns. It's intriguing to me from the betting perspective at 3.5. I'm just not comfortable giving that many points on the road for Pittsburgh. But that defense is really dang good. So I'm curious, but what could we expect from you tonight? Where can we find your work?
Yeah, thank you again, man. Really appreciate the support. Yeah, you can follow me over at the Athletic, our NFL blog tonight for Thursday night football. Steelers Browns, like you said, AFC North battle in between these two teams. Right, Cleveland, not much going right for them this season. Had to switch it up at quarterback. Jameis Winston coming in for Deshaun Watson, so not much going on there in terms of. I think Jameis has played decently well, right? Had almost 400 yards last week, and they lost by 3 touchdowns.
I
So,
was on the
um,
Browns. I took the
yeah,
Browns last week, and that was a bad selection at the end of the day, no doubt. But man, I thought it should have been a hell of a lot closer due to the production that they were getting on offense.
yeah, I mean, they were playing, I believe it was New Orleans, right? And yeah, you never know what you're going to get from the Saints, right? They've been kind of up and down all season. Unfortunately for the Browns bettors like yourselves, New Orleans had a good day. But yeah, you can follow the work tonight over at the Athletic NFL blog. I'll be doing some breakdowns throughout the game and then post game as well. Steelers have been on a roll. I think what's that? They won seven. Is it six now? Seven in a row. They're riding a good streak right now. Big win over Baltimore last week was a big win. Division rival. They've owned them the last several years now, and had that big win against Washington the week before. So should be a good game. I don't expect a lot of high scoring. I don't expect to be high scoring. I think what was it, the under last time I checked was 39.5. So I like the under. I do think Pittsburgh goes in, gets the win. They're doing exceptionally well. Like you said, the defense is playing awesome. T.J. Watt, Patrick Queen, Joey Porter Jr. So I like them to continue the role. And Mike Tomlin, he just continued to do an amazing job. I heard you praise him yesterday, Mike Tomlin, and he's done an outstanding job again this season for the Steelers.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever had a below 500 record. I think the Steelers with another victory will be 21 straight, if I'm not mistaken. I saw that on ESPN. He's a great coach and knows the X's and O's of his opponent, of his team, and plays a little bit to the heart of Pittsburgh. Now, have they been able to get over the hump as of late? No. Can they do it specifically this year with their defense? Possibly, but I know the odds are stacked against them with the quarterback and the offensive play from Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and two-time MVP Lamar Jackson. But a lot of football to be played. 36 and a half is our total. 36 and a half is the total. So that is low tonight. So I would not be expecting any points on the board. And again, you're talking about a team that won last week. Second time this year, in fact, without scoring an offensive touchdown. All right, let's put the NFL conversation to the side. Nice work, Larry. Let's pick it back up though with the English Premier League, and I want to start with Manchester United and the expectations with the new manager. You know better than most. I come to you for a lot of my soccer information. But no better time than right now to get this thing going in the right direction. It's a very winnable game against Ipswich, minus 155 right now. Man, you on the road favorite here. Game at Sunday at 11:30. Should we expect this to be a victory, no matter the struggles that United have faced this season?
I definitely expect a win for them. They've had a good run of late, unbeaten in four in all competitions. They make the switch at manager. Ruben Amorim coming in as the new head coach, and he's done a lot. Had a lot of success in Portugal. That's mainly where he's coached. Coached Braga and then Sporting Lisbon, where he's been for the past 4 years. He's only lost 33 matches in over 230 games in charge of Sporting Lisbon. They've been a consistent threat in the Portuguese league each year. They actually had a big win against Manchester City a few weeks ago in the Champions League, which I know that puts a smile on your face seeing Man City lose. But yeah, I think it's going to be a winnable game for them for sure. Ipswich has had a tough time adjusting to the bright lights of the Premier League. First time, I believe it is 22 years for them being in the top flight. So I know Portman Road's definitely going to be rocking for sure, welcoming Manchester United to town. But this is a good streak right now for Manchester United. Like I said, unbeaten in four. These next three matches, I expect them to win all three, right? They have Ipswich in the league on Sunday. Then they go back to Europa League in midweek, and then they host Everton on December 1st in the league before a big midweek trip to Arsenal on December 4th. So if they can get a couple wins rolling under Amarim, I think they'll be in good shape for that Arsenal match. Considering that Arsenal's been a little bit below par over the first good chunk of the season.
All right, Liverpool is on top of the EPL at this point in time. They're in action against Southampton. They're over Manchester City at 28 to 23 points. I believe 11 matches. Yeah, 11 matches played into the early EPL season here. Larry, question as far as Liverpool so far with 11 games in. Is this like, are we turning back the hands of time here where they were just incredible offensively, led by Mo Salah, but you were getting production from everybody on the field, but mainly the three-headed monster at the top, whether we're talking about the days with Suarez or man, I'm drawing a blanket. Who else was on the other side
Sturridge,
of
Daniel Sturridge.
there
Yep.
you go. Thank you. Is that what we're seeing right now from Liverpool? Why are they right now 5 points on top of the table?
I think it's just the consistency within that group, right? This is a lot of play. There's a lot of players in this squad that were part of the team when they had won the Premier League a few seasons ago, and were part of the Champions League triumph in 2019. Mo Salah's been outstanding. I think he's been the player of the season right now. When you look at it, 8 goals, 6 assists in the league. He's top three in both of those categories. Defensively, Virgil van Dijk has been outstanding in the back for them. Defensively, they're the best defensive team in the league right now. They've only let up 6 goals in 11 matches. They're the only team that has a single digit goals conceded. They have a plus 15 goal differential, which is the only team that's double digits. Going to Anfield is always going to be a tough match for anybody, and Manchester City, I mean, they've had a tough run of form of late, and next weekend they go to Liverpool, so that's going to be an early test for Liverpool, but also a big test for Manchester City to kind of get back on track. So I think Liverpool right now has to be the favorite. They've done exceptionally well. They've done also well in the other competitions, right? Advancing in the League Cup, playing in the Champions League. They have so much depth in the squad that they can rotate everybody, or at least most of the squad for these competitions, and still not really miss a beat. So, and I think that's a testament to the new coach, right, Arne Slot. He's come in for a club legend and Jurgen Klopp did outstanding there in the 10 years there. So filling his shoes was always going to be big, but he has that consistency in the team. They all fight for one another. Like I said, going to Anfield, not many teams are going to win there. So most likely Liverpool at home, they're going to win. So I think, if they can keep this thing rolling, man, they could possibly maybe even a quadruple on the cards in all competitions.
All right, let's keep it moving. Anything else from the EPL for you this week? A game that you have your attention on? One winner?
Yeah, I think the Saturday game is going to be big, right? Manchester City, Tottenham. Like I said, Man City has struggled of late, 4 straight losses, the first time since 2006. Pep Guardiola definitely needs to get the team rolling, like you said. 5 points behind Liverpool in the league, but also some hiccups in other competitions as well. Tottenham did eliminate them from the League Cup 2 weeks ago. They also lost in the Champions League to Sporting Lisbon, so need to get the things things rolling for Manchester City. They're in a unfamiliar spot right now, losing a couple matches. Hopefully, Erling Haaland can step it up, but also I think the others need to step it up as well. Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva, Jeremy Doku. There's a lot of scoring ability in this squad. They need to find a way to score goals and not just go through Haaland, who has 12 goals in the league. And this weekend they host Tottenham in the league. It's always going to be a tough match, but I expect Man City to bounce back at home. I think the fans are going to be behind them for sure. And they know, like I said, this is an unfamiliar spot for them this time of the season, but they know they got to get things rolling or else they could be playing catch up, for most of the season.
All right. Let's stay in the world of soccer. Let's talk about the United States men's national team here. And off and running. Help me out. Last name again?
Pochettino.
Pochettino. Thank you. I just looked at his name and I'm like, how do you say it? That's funny because I know it. But when I looked at the spelling, I got really nervous. That is great. Anyways, a couple, weeks into this, of course, we just got to watch the game over Jamaica. Christian Pulisic with the nice goal. A lot of people talking about the dance more than anything. Putting that to the side, who cares? But let's talk about what we've seen from the head man in charge. And I'm about winning. The few clips that I've been able to watch again address us right now, Larry, as if we didn't watch a minute of the game. We haven't really been paying attention. I would fully admit I watched the highlights and only caught some clips so far. Haven't been reading much, but what have you been taking in over the few weeks that he's been named the new guy in charge?
You definitely seen a different kind of energy in the squad, right? Whenever a new coach comes in, I think that comes with all sports. But for sure, bringing in a guy like Pochettino, who has a long pedigree of success in his career, coaching PSG, coaching Chelsea, coaching Tottenham, helping Tottenham get to a Champions League final in 2019. He's definitely brought a new sense of energy and confidence in the squad. That first leg against Jamaica last week, they picked up the 1-0 win. Ricardo Pepi scored the goal. But for most of that match, they were, put under a lot of pressure from Jamaica at home. And I think that normally happens when you go on the road in these CONCACAF matches. But I think overall they did well defensively to neutralize Jamaica in that match. And then they take that 1-0 aggregate lead into the second leg, which was on Monday. They put 4 goals past Jamaica in that one. They advanced 5-2 on aggregate. Like you said, Pulisic had 2 goals in that match. That one was really nice, being able to beat Andre Blake to the far post. Ricardo Pepi had 2 more goals in that as well. Timmy Weah came back. It was his first match since being shown a red card in the Copa America loss to Panama. So he was able to pick up a really good goal. He's riding a good run of form right now. So overall, I think it's job well done so far for Pochettino. These were the last matches for the U.S. this year. They'll be facing Panama in the semifinals of the competition next March. And they'll also have a January friendly against Venezuela in January in Miami, which you'll see a lot of MLS-based players for that one. But overall, I think he's done some really good things. He added some new wrinkles into it. Yunus Musa playing out wide as a right midfielder. Anthony Robinson kind of coming in as a number 8 at times, showing his versatility. And overall, I think, they've had injuries to the striker position. So many guys were missing this window, but I think Ricardo Pepi definitely boosted his stock with 3 goals and definitely put himself in a good spot to be the starting number 9 going into 2025.
Next up for the U.S. men's national team?
January, they have a friendly at home against Venezuela. That falls outside of a FIFA window, so you won't see the big name guys, Pulisic, McKinney, those guys in there, but you'll see a lot of MLS-based guys during that camp. Hopefully can get to that one in Miami, and then in March, they have the Nations League semifinal against Panama. If they win that, they would either play Canada or Mexico in the final in March. So that'll be the first chance for a trophy of the Pochettino era.
Boom. Larry Henry Jr. joining us, as always, breaking it down better than most for us here on the Daily Ticket, L. Henry 019. All right, from the world of footy over to the ice. We had a little bit of positivity coming in with the Fly guys, right? I think last week things were moving in the right direction, and then I didn't even get an opportunity to sit down, and they were already down 1-0 against the Hurricanes, and they ended up getting smoked 4-1 final score. And that was a tough loss last night at home for the Flyers. But moving forward, where do we stand with the Flyers? Anything new in your mind? Of course, there was a little bit of a hiccup between Mitchkoff and the head coach, but where are we at right now with the Flyers?
Yeah, it was a little disappointing, right? Last week we had spoke. They had some wins under their belt, some good performances, and in a matter of a week, they've coughed up a couple games in the last week, right? They lost to Colorado on Monday night. They lost to Carolina Wednesday night. So a little disappointing because those are two really good competitive teams. Those are the teams you want to be competing well against and picking up some big results. And unfortunately, it didn't really go their way. The Colorado game, they fell down 3-0. They fought their way back and got it to 3-2, but unfortunately, weren't able to force overtime or even win the game. Last night against Carolina, like you said, by the time you sit down, they're down. They got to play from behind again. Yeah, it's definitely worrying. The one thing that worries me is I would say the goaltending hasn't been as sharp as I would have liked to see. 70 goals allowed right now, which is tied for the third most in the league. Only Pittsburgh, which is shocking to say Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh has the most at 81. And then you got the San Jose Sharks at 73 goals allowed, who sit second. So really need to tighten it up defensively and as well with the goaltending situation with Samuel Urson, with Ivan Fedidov. I think you're eventually John Tortorella is going to have to pick one of those guys and kind of go with him for the foreseeable future. I think a lot of the moving and shaking in between those two guys could lead to some inconsistencies, and I think you're starting to notice that. And then I think on the offensive end of things, too, they're not really getting a lot of good prime scoring chances. Again, looking at the stats, they've produced the fifth fewest shots on goal at 26.6. And this is a team that has Mitch Golf, has Travis Konechny, has Scott Lawton, Sean Couturier, guys, Owen Tippett. I mean, that list kind of goes on and on. They have guys that can put the puck in the back of the net. It's just, again, you fall down defensively and letting up goals, and then you're trying to play catch up and putting more pressure on these guys to score. So I think they really got to come out, start putting their foot on teams a little bit more offensively, and I think you'll start seeing the results start to turn around a little bit. Luckily for them, they have a couple days off, can get back on the practice rink before they play the Chicago Blackhawks on Saturday. Connor Bedard, last year's number one pick, I thought had a really good rookie season. I think it's going to be a really good 1 o'clock game between Bedard and the Blackhawks and Mitch Colvin and the Flyers.
All right. Great stuff from Larry there. Anything for you as far as on tonight's card? Only a few games to choose from here in the NHL. Excuse me. No, actually, I take that back. I think it's Friday. There's not a lot of action. Full card, though. No Flyers in action this evening. I know that much. For you, though, anything on the card for you catching your attention here?
Yeah, 10 games tonight, so a big slate in the NHL. I think the game that has my eye the most is Colorado Avalanche versus the Washington Capitals. These two teams both with double-digit wins so far. Colorado's got 10, Washington has 13. Washington did just go to Colorado and pick up a 5-2 win last weekend. Alex Ovechkin has been on fire right now. 9.7 goals in his last 5 games as he continues to hunt down the great one, Wayne Gretzky, for the all-time goal record. And then you got the Avalanche, who have kind of taken a step back a little bit, but they still have a lot of these prime goal scorers, right? Mikko Rantanen has 10 points in the last 5 games. Nathan McKinnon's got 8 assists. Cale Makar, one of the best offensive defensemen in the NHL, scored twice against the Flyers on Monday. It's going to be a really good game. I expect it to be high scoring with all these guys on the ice. But hey, hats off to Washington, man. Not many people expected them to be kind of in the mix for the playoffs this season in the Metro Division. 13-4 right now, and definitely one of the high flyers. And Ovechkin, could be 40 years old, but he's still carrying this team proudly, and hopefully he gets that record done this season.
I like it. Yeah, just to let everybody know right now on DraftKings Sportsbook, to win it all in the NHL, Panthers and Edmonton Oilers tied, and the Hurricanes three-way tie at the top, 8-1. Dallas Stars 9-1. Rangers 10-1. Maple Leafs 11-1. Avalanche 12-1. Devils 14-1. We'll stop there. Larry, great stuff as always, man. Good luck tonight. First night punching the clock for the folks over at The Athletic, covering tonight's Thursday night football game. We're talking a lot about that here on the Daily Ticket. But as always, a great week getting us updated. And I have a funny feeling we're going to be up against it next week with everything that's going on. But have a great holiday. Get my best to the family. And we will definitely catch up sooner than later for all things EPL and the world of the NHL. Always a pleasure, Larry.
Thanks a lot, Sean. Have a good holiday if I don't hear from you, buddy, and enjoy all the games coming, man. NFL, college football, so much going on, buddy. But thanks for everything, and hopefully catch up next week.
Absolutely. There he is, Larry Henry Jr. on the Gambler Stream, keeping it moving. Next hour, you are going to hear Sean Bernard talk all things NBA and the issues with our Philadelphia Sixers. Don't go anywhere. More after this.